in punishment for abortion? Yes or no, as a principle?
The answer is that there has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah, there has to be some form.
10 cents, 10 years,
I don't know. That I don't know.
Eliza Collins is a reporter with Politico and she's been on the Trump campaign trail. She joins me now from Washington, D.C. Eliza, thank you so much for being with us. A YouGov Huffington Post poll is now saying 60% of voters believe Trump does not respect women. Now, given his latest comments, what are Republican Party officials saying?
So that's actually even a lower poll. The recent polls kind of average at 70%. So Republican officials are obviously panicked, but at the same time, they're also working really hard to keep Trump out. Or Republican officials aren't, but many in the Republican Party. So I think it's kind of, they're panicked, he's hurting their party, but they're trying to also kind of use his comments to push him out and get someone a little bit more mainstream Republican in.
And surely the last thing that you want to do in an election where gender is indeed a hot button issue is alienate 51% of the electorate.
Exactly right. I mean, you can't win an election if you alienate 51% of the electorate. And when 70% of them are saying, no way, we won't vote for you. So clearly they're panicked. And you're seeing a lot of that. Ted Cruz, John Kasich, really hitting on the trail, especially after Trump made those comments. Ted Cruz went through Wisconsin. He brought his mom, he brought his wife, he brought female surrogates, really kind of going for a strong woman presence. He made comments like, I've always been surrounded by strong women. So you're definitely seeing the other candidates try to use it to their advantage.
Yet I imagine there could be long-term damaging effects for the Republican Party, regardless of whether there are other candidates or not.
Exactly, and we saw that in the last election with Mitt Romney. He didn't do very well with women and it cost him the election, and the Republican Party had to go back and kind of analyze how to do better, and obviously this time around it's even worse. I was talking to someone at Planned Parenthood and they said Mitt Romney looked like a raging liberal compared to Donald Trump. I mean, so in 2012 they thought Mitt Romney ruined it. Now in 2016 it's even worse.
So, Eliza, who are the women who are actually supporting Donald Trump?
You know, Donald Trump's supporters they're interested in someone who is strong, who says it like it is. They feel like he's very strong on foreign policy. So they are not necessarily as interested in domestic policy or even what he says. And you hear that over and over. You know, people will be like, yeah, I didn't like that comment, but overall what he stands for, you know, we don't need someone who's soft. And women I've talked to out there are saying, yeah, I don't like that he cusses, or I don't like that he says this about women, but in general, he's going to get things done.
Does he care that he's perceived to be anti-women?
I think he cares. I mean, we saw him bring out his wife after those comments. He walked them back, which is something Donald Trump never does. But I also think Donald Trump doesn't really, he's kind of gotten in this niche. He plows forward. There's not a lot of looking back and changing and really analyzing what he's done. You know, Donald Trump has kind of made a way for himself by saying really controversial things. And his first day, he said that, you know, illegal immigrants were rapists and criminals. So he's kind of just plowing forward.
So do you think the gender issue is indeed going to be the deciding factor in November? Is this actually going to make people turn out and vote?
I think that there's a very high chance it could, especially after comments like the abortion comments. We also saw him get in a fight over Ted Cruz and his wife. You know, we saw in Utah, which has a very high Mormon population, there were ads targeted at Mormon women with pictures of Donald Trump's wife, nude photos from her modeling days. So I think that we're seeing kind of targeted ads. Women are upset, there's protests. I could definitely see it being a big issue, especially if Hillary Clinton is the nominee.
Eliza Collins, I'm afraid we've run out of time. Thank you so much.